Hello, this is PG, photography gamer of the Play Games channel, and today I've got a little something different for you today. Not a review, not a guide, it's a little gameplay video of something that I'm working on. So you may have heard of a game called Enshrouded. It's a sort of hybrid survival RPG light type experience. It's on Steam. I've played 15 to 20 hours, and yeah, I've got a lot on my plate with a documentary. The Euros is coming on TV soon, and I've got lots of other reviews to do. So this game, I'm not going to get my review out for this probably for a couple of months. Now, I know a lot of people are quite interested by it, intrigued by it, like, is it any good? Well, today I'm just going to give you a feel of the thing, show you like the early stages and give you some thoughts on building, crafting, game world design, the combat, you know, many different things, and I'll just give you like an impression of it that obviously when the review comes out I'll have a more fully fledged view on it. But yeah, we're just going to talk you through it. So basically, story in short, something bad happened, something came out of the earth. It's this shroudy mist stuff that's bad, wiped out a lot of people, and there's some people left in these things called vaults, like these little containers, very reminiscent of Ico. The game starts, you come out of one of these, you're in this sort of very decadent type of location, and then you're just free to sort of explore and see how things go. So let's have a look at the game world. So I mean, visually it does remind me quite a lot of the old Fable. Obviously it's much nicer looking. These are kind of on mid performance sort of stats. They're not on like the top end because there's a lot going on in some of the building sections. So as you can see, it's quite a vast game world, isn't it? Like, you've got that mist is the Shroud. Like, when you go into the Shroud, you have a little clock at the top of the screen and it ticks down, and when it gets to 0 you die. When you die, you do drop stuff, but you don't drop your tools like weapons, armor. You know, useful tools don't get dropped, but most of the other stuff in your bag will get dropped, but you can go get it. So it's a little bit more lenient than usual survival games. But anyway, that's my house. It's kind of pretty basic and small because I've only really just started building it. So let's have a look at it, shall we? Have a helpful glider, obviously, to get around, which is kind of nice in some of the areas. But let's have a look. So first things first, let's have some food. Keep our strength up with some cooked mushrooms. You can plant trees. So these like autumnal trees I planted just to give the colour to the area. And here is, you can manipulate terrain. It's a bit hit and miss with the rake. Like, it doesn't, like, I had a bit of trouble with this bit. I've still got to fix that. But you can grow crops. So we've got some tomatoes. We've got, I don't know what these flowers are. We've got chamomile here. It's pretty easy, I'd say, to cultivate and grow crops. You've got to like find them in the wild, make some soil, and then you plant them, and then once you've got them in there, it's kind of like you're off. So yeah, I'd say farming's pretty straightforward. Let's have a look. Now obviously in this game, one of the things about this game is it's a voxel game. I believe that's the correct term. What does that mean? Well, I've got a pickaxe, so this is what it means. Bang. We can basically change the terrain if we hit it. So look, got a little hole there. We could build a hobbit hole. There we go. Taters. So yeah, that's a useful tool, and I'll show you. Like, I've started building a kind of basement catacomb type area in my base. So dug all this out with my pickaxe, and then I built stone walls with the stone that I'd accumulated. Now, it's not perfect. Like, sometimes the terrain comes back, but you know, generally, you know, you hit it and you can smooth it out. You do have a rake as well, which can be used to smooth, which I'm having a bit of problems using. It doesn't seem very accurate, but it's a nice function, and it lets you basically manipulate the terrain. Although this is my base area, and within the base area it generally saves what you've done. So the base area sort of centres here in the sort of the flame altar, and as you level up the flame altar, you can then expand the building area. But if you dig out in the wild, it won't really it won't be able to sort of save the terrain manipulation, but at your base it does it fine. So basic house, 3x3, nothing special. Little stone courtyards. I've got a few little stations where I'm growing the crops to plant. This lady and these chaps and chapesses in here, they are, what are these? These are craftspeople, basically. So they're like, basically, the way I would describe them, they're like a workbench with legs. They don't do much. You save them from one of those vaults in the game world. You take them home in your pocket, of course, and then you place them wherever you would like. Once you place them, they don't do anything other than stand there, occasionally mention something, and they give you little quests. So you can really say, what are they? They're like workbenches with legs, basically. So anyway, let's sleep, get the sun coming up because it's a bit dark out. So I would say we'll go into the building system. I'm gonna demonstrate it once it gets light. Now, there's two types of building really. You've got fabricated and prefabs, like pieces, and then very much bric-a-brac, custom Lego type, block by block. So in order to build, you have to go to your workbench and make these sort of blocks. See these blocks? Depending, like, do you want to build in like sort of marbly type, wood, tarred wood? Depending on the resources, you build the blocks that you want. Now we've got some already, I believe. We can try something out. So let's see what we've got here. We've got rough wood blocks. We've got quite a few of them. Let's use them. Okay, so like purely for demonstration purposes, let's go back to the hobbit hole. Okay, so we've got a hammer. We go into the menu, and then there's all of these sort of things we can build, and like some of them are tiny, like individual blocks like that. Some of them are larger, and some you need specific things. Like if you're building a roof, you need roof tiles. You can't build them with stone, obviously, because it just wouldn't make any sense, would it? So let's see. That's a pillar. Like we'll go individual blocks. So, for example, can I rotate it? No. Well, let's just, I'm just going to build something. So, like here, we'll place one. We can place it on top, and again. And then let's say we wanted to build a little arch, just one block at a time. And then bang, bang, bang. That's good. It's not even in line, is it? Useless. And then, you know, oh look, can't get through it. But we could if we dug a hole. There you go. It's the obstacle course I've just started building. There you go. So you can literally do that, and then, like, if you're not happy with bits, you could say, right, I don't like that bit, so remove it. Don't like that bit, remove it. Don't like that bit, remove it. So it gives you complete sort of freedom. I mean, there is weird stuff like it's levitating, isn't it? Look, so it's not exactly like realistic, but building is pretty good. You don't have to build like that. You know, you can, for example, if you just wanted to build like a large stone thing, pick one. We don't have stone, but we've got wood. So let's say I want to build a wood foundation over here, underneath that. And just put it there. There it is. But then if we remove it, it will remove the whole block. So, you know, obviously it depends what you place, will depend what actually you get at the end of it. Excuse me. So that's kind of building and crafting. Let's have a look at the game world, shall we? So, yeah, the base is not too bad. It's coming along. I've got a fair bit of work to do on it. I haven't been attacked, so I don't know if the base building is actually relevant, like in the long run. You know, are you going to get destroyed? Let's chop a tree down. So we've got our axe. Being, you know, it's a survival game, so you've got a lot of this sort of stuff. Looting all your gear, and then like we could craft. We can make a campfire. We can bandages, basic stuff. But if we want to make anything decent, we've got to go back to the base. And rags. Got a backpack. You know, we can equip various things like weapons, ranged weapons, extending our backpack, shields. We've got a grappling hook. We've got a glider, rings with bonuses. Obviously, we can customize appearance. As you can see, these things here don't resemble what I'm wearing there, do they? So you can basically wear a piece of item, a piece of clothing that's got good ratings, and then have something that looks a bit more fancy in your character build. And then here we've got the skill tree, so we've got like various things like sneak, merciless attacks, double jump, eagle eye, which is good for zooming with the bow. It's quite a lot. I haven't really decided what my character is, but yeah, the game gives you quite an amount of freedom, I'd say, to sort of have a look at that. So, oh, okay, shit, nearly died. Right, we are going in the Shroud, whether we like it or not. We're there now. So, grappling hook. There's no real human beings in the kind of game world, apart from those ones you have at your base that I can see. Everyone's dead. Anyway, let's explore a bit, shall we? So this is the Shroud. Now, as I enter it, you can see there's that clock at the top. It's like a 10-minute countdown. If we get to the bottom of that, we will die, which we don't want. So it puts a bit of a time pressure on getting out. But if you follow the roads, usually you're okay. What is that? Oh! Why am I hitting them with a wood axe? Useless. Okay. Oh, shit. Totally not prepared for that attack. Right, let's deal with them. Block. Attack. Oh, you're dead. Yeah, I'd say the combat's kind of like super duper basic. We can dodge roll, we can block, we can parry, and what else? That's about it, really. Now, you can fast travel in this game. I think we should probably make a bandage, shouldn't we? Where's the bandages? Let's make one. Get some health back. Right, we're good. So yeah, if we follow these roads, it will take us to points of interest or take us to safe zones. Now, if we go off the sort of path, we're at our own risk, and it's quite dangerous. You get a lot of enemies, and you know, it's not really advisable to go into these places unprepared, because obviously the enemies are quite dangerous. You die, getting back to get your stuff can be annoying, but thankfully, like I said, you don't lose the tools. But let's get out of this thing and fast travel somewhere else to show you a bit of the game world. But there's resources specific to the Shroud that you can then use in crafting. There's elixir wells. You've got these little Shroud liquids that are used to make things. There's like little strongholds with bosses you've got to take down, and then you get these very special resources that can level up your home base or progress the main narrative. There's towers. See that tower up there? That's kind of usually there's tasks where if you go to a tower, it will be like a fast travel point, or there'll be some benefit for climbing it. Okay, let's lock on. So we'll lock on. Can we parry? No. I never get parries right in these games. We've got a ring. Okie dokie. Right, well, let's get out of this bloody Shroud. And as soon as we leave, the clock should go back to like max, and we're alright. Now obviously there's other ways of getting around, because the Shroud is not an ideal place to travel in. So for example, we can use our grappling hook like that to get across, but it only works on certain spaces. I had contemplated rebuilding this bridge, but I don't see the point, because like there's better places. But as you can see, you know, we're safe up here, but the Shroud's pretty vast, pretty dangerous, and you can get lost in it. But you've got different biomes. It looks like there's a desert over there. I haven't been to the desert yet, because there's this very dangerous Shroud that I haven't figured out how to get through yet. But I'm on my way to working that one out. Okay, so what is this? Can we jump this? Yes. So it's quite, I'd say the platforming is quite good. Let's shoot this guy. Oh, he's got me. Die. The bow's quite handy. Obviously we've got some traps here. And so these enemies are quite weak compared to my character. So if we look on the game map, you know, it's quite big. I mean, I'm still a bit like confused about exactly what I'm doing. I know I've got to get to certain points, but it's quite a long-winded journey. But generally, I'd say you follow the path. I mean, like, they have called this game a role-playing game, and I can understand why it's called a role-playing game. However, for a role-playing game, I would say you need dialogue, characters, towns. You need points of interest where you can have, like, dialogue. There just isn't enough of that to really justify this as being a role-playing game, I would say. And it's also, it's not really fully fledged survival either. Because as a survival game, it's quite easy. Like, I'm walking around here. Like, I'm not really in any much danger of dying. Am I, really? So it's quite safe. Let's check we're safe. So, you know, mining is good. We can level up. See, we get the experience on the left. The more experience, the more we level up, the more we can do our skill tree. So the flintstones, that's for like building special blocks. Now you can play this multiplayer with your friends. I haven't played it with anyone yet. I've just been sort of experiencing it in a solo way. Let's kill this wolf. Yeah, you know what? It's one of those games I find so far where some sessions it's kind of relaxing and quite cool and, you know, quite enjoyable. And then other sessions it just feels like a massive slog. Because it's a lot of like walking across long landscapes to get from one point to another to collect some special thing that you then take home to your base, and then all the chaps and chapesses at your base go, oh, now I can make, I don't know, a table. Hurrah. So yeah, I'm not sure it's a classic. I'm not sure it's a game that I would say is an absolute must, because I think if you're a survival game fan, you might find it a little bit too easy, because it doesn't penalise you much. I don't feel like it does. It's quite lenient. And, you know, if you're playing it because you want to play a role-playing game, yes, you can kind of be an archer, you could be a warrior, you could be a hunter, you could be a sort of a mage using magic. But I would say, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it feels like somewhere stuck between survival and role playing, and I'm not sure it does either of them well enough to say it's a must play. But I would say it's definitely. Oh, get these, get them. Oh, I missed. Oh, they just killed suicide rams. There you go. They just dived off the edge. Anyway, so what was I saying? Yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it yet, because I mean, it passes the time. I know that's not a great thing to say about a game. It passes the time, you know, so does watching paint dry, but I would say building your base is quite good fun, and I would say exploring the game world can be enjoyable. I would say combat's kind of a bit one-dimensional. It's very much in the sort of Return to Moria style of combat, I would say. It's not much depth to it, but I think it is. You got to also, I would say, this is in early access, so that's something we all need to consider when we're looking at games like this, because clearly it's not.